Wow. Two things. One, I'm orange as fuck right now because it's the sunlight. Number two, if I had feelings, they would be hurt really bad by this episode of Catfish. Jesus Christ. Okay, so let's just start off with the beginning. This episode of Catfish was about this guy, and this guy, he's 20 something years old. I'm really orange. Whatever. He's 20 something. No, he's not. He's 18. He's 18 years old, and he met this chick on Twitter or something, or Facebook. I don't know. And you look at the picture of this girl, and it's like, holy, I'm busy. Holy hell, she's gorgeous. Like, she's fine as shit. So, naturally, there is no way in the hell she's real. It can't be. It just cannot be real. The biggest thing about it is his mom contacted the show Catfish because she wanted to make sure that he wasn't getting hurt. Because one, he had been catfished before, which would make me more suspicious of people. Call me crazy, but then again, I'm not 18. But like, I'd be more suspicious of people. My hair looks red. What is going on? Okay, I'd be more suspicious of people. I just would be more like, I'm gonna need an ID, date of birth, certificate, all that kind of shit. I'm gonna need to see all that before we can move forward. But he was like, no, I'm talking to her and she's great. We have this connection. She was sad. I talked to her and helped her feel better. We had this thing. She wrestles. She looks like a supermodel in the pictures, but she wrestles in real life. Like, does it make sense? No, not really. No. You would told me a chick that looked like that wrestles, I would have said, what? With makeup? I don't understand. What is she wrestling with? But she wrestles, which is great. That's cool. So, the mom's there, and I get the distinct vibe. The mom cares. She totally cares. But I get the distinct vibe that the mom wants everything to be horrendous. So she could be like, see, Papi, I told you. That's racist. So she could be like, I told you so. You know what I mean? That's what I get the feeling off of her. She's a nice woman. She has 4 kids. She looks surprisingly young to have an 18-year-old son. But you never know, people. Maybe she got nothing. Don't worry about it. Anyway, so they're researching this girl. And first of all, just hearing him talk, like, he looks like a fucking baby. Like, seriously, he looks like a baby. Like a baby. And the way he's talking about it, it's like a bucket of kittens dumped into a bucket of puppies, and they're all just like rubbing around and mushing it. It's so adorable. Like, it's like, oh, you have no idea of the horrors that await you because you're only 18. Or, So they start doing the research on this girl, and they start to figure out everything that's going on and figure out what the fuck is going on. And reach out to some of her friends. Everything seems to check out. Then there's this one guy who says, oh, she was sharing her phone and Twitter. Oh, well, she was sharing a phone with somebody, with her friend Jasmine. And, yeah. So they look into this Jasmine person, and her Facebook, Twitter is like full of sad shit. Like, first of all, she's not unattractive. So, like, if that was me and they said, look, it might be Jasmine, I'd be like, okay. Whatever, she's hot too. But, like, her whole thing, like, everything on her page is like, I want to die. Oh, I want to be sacrificed to the gods. I hate myself, and oh, I'm so ugly. I look like fucking Goofy. Like, it was just, like, really, like, I feel like she grew up in a house where, like, the people were telling her she wasn't shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, you think you gonna read, you dumb bitch? Like, she grew up living with that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? And she just seemed like, oh, I hate myself and everything. But the picture looked great. She was an attractive girl. Anyway, so their Twitters were linked. Their phone, they were sharing the phone. So the thought came about that maybe he was talking to this Jasmine person instead. So they come back and tell him this information, and he's like, oh, and the mom's like, oh, yeah, that's it, because there's a lot of dark shit, and this is what's happening. gotcha, and she got him. Ah! Like it was that kind of. The mom was just so gung ho for the shit to be bad. She's like, she cares about her son. She's sweet, but she wants him to learn a lesson, in my opinion, and she needs it to go bad for the lesson to work. And he's just like so devout in his belief that it's gonna work out and everything's gonna be great and she's gonna be who she is and it's gonna be candy and peaches and unicorns and everything's gonna work out right. So they're going through this thing and they're doing the rounds and they talk to her and she's like, sure, oh my god, it's Steve, let's do it. And she's like, yeah. So they go to, first of all, they invite the mom, which I would have been like, Mom, you stay in your ass home. Because if this doesn't work out, I don't want to see your face. And if this does work out, I'm going to do some nasty stuff to her. And I don't want you to be in the same state because you're going to sense it. And I don't want you to like sense it on me when I come back. So you got to stay home. But they brought her. And like the mom said, she's like, it could be a guy. Like she was, she wanted shit to go bad. So they go to California, go to her house, and they knock on the door, and it's the longest fucking door opening I've ever seen in my life. And Neve does this thing where he stands directly in front of the door in a way that blocks the whole thing, and he's like 6 feet 140 or something. Like he's super thin, but he manages to block the whole doorway. So you never know what's coming out of the door. And like she comes out, and when I first saw her, I was like, oh no, it's not her. It's that Jasmine chick. It's not her. But the more I looked, I'm like, no, it's her. Holy shit, it's her. It's her. I was waiting for her to come out looking like her and then pull down like a zipper and be like, surprise, I'm a gnome. You know what I mean? Or surprise, Toucan Sam or some weird shit like that. And it wasn't. It was her. And he was like, oh my God, it's you. And he came, hugged her, and picked her up and did like a Disney spin. And I was like, oh, the kittens and the puppies. Oh, it's so sweet. And it's happening. And she's kind of like a little, she said she had something that she needed to tell him in person. She wasn't completely honest, right? So it's like, and they're like, well, tell us everything. And then she's saying everything. And they're like, oh my God, it's all checking out. Holy shit, it's all checking out. No Jasmine, none of that. It's checking out. You're who you said you were. How is this possible? And then she says, well, it's just one thing I do have to say. I've been talking to other people the whole time. The entire time. Like when I said to him, it's only you, it wasn't. And he was like, oh. Alright, whatever. You still look like you do. Shit, let's do it. And like they go hang out for a while. And it seems great. That first day that he hung out with her for like 3 hours. Everything seemed wonderful. Right? And like as it seemed wonderful, you're like, even the mama said it because this is her fucking dream. She was like, I feel like something else is gonna happen. Like this is too good, And boy, did it happen! Like it was, like here's my thing: you spent 3 hours with him without the camera crew, right? And she's like, okay, well we'll see. Let's hang out tomorrow at the ice cream parlor, some 1950s type shit. And they do that. And she gets there and they're talking, and he's like, so you were talking to all these other people? And she was like, yeah, but it wasn't, I'm sorry, I wasn't trying to hurt your feelings and all this stuff. And like, great, good, apologize, that's nice. But then she goes into, well, he says, do you feel like we have like a thing, like this is gonna be, and she was like, she hit him with like, first of all, it turned from one MTV show to another MTV show. Okay, it went from the TV show Catfish to the TV show Friend Zoned. Okay, she friend zoned the shit out of him. She was like, "Oh, I think we should be friends." Like she did that. And if you were wearing headphones, I apologize. But she did that to him, and he's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like this is." All this, we talk on the phone, and the phone, you my first love, and all this sweet stuff, and you don't feel none of that in person. And she's like, I I want to focus on me and do my shit, and I want to be, we could be friends. And he like, well, shit, I have no reason to be here. Because I felt like this was a thing. And he left. And it was just like heartbreaking, because I saw him after she said it, and I was like, he's gonna fucking cry. Don't let her see you cry. Don't let her see you cry. Man up, God damn it. And he was like, I don't see any reason for me to be here. And he left. He went to the car, and I was like, he gonna cry in the car. Got in the car, was crying. She was crying in there. I'm like, well, what the fuck are you crying about? This is what you wanted, right? You didn't want a thing with him, so this is perfect for you. Why are you crying? You know what I mean? But like, this was just like heartbreaking. He got everything he wanted. He believed in everything that she was the person that she was, and it turns out she was. Everybody was telling him no. Neve was like, look, it's gonna be the shit. Max was like, I'm telling you, this ain't the shit. Mama was like, Papito, this ain't the shit. Like, you know what I mean? They were all saying that. And through it all, it turned out to be who it was. This was a really sad episode. Like I said in the beginning, if I had like feelings like normal people, I would be like tearing up and emotional. But I don't. So I see you guys next week. I don't know what I'm going to do about this episode where they're going through all the Catfish people, because I don't remember names. I'm going to try. I'm just going to go at it and see what happens. Thanks for watching, guys. I've been Jay. Deuces to you. I'm out.